Welcome back. So, go ahead. You were talking about what happens when the bomb goes off.
So when a bomb goes off, you have to do the basic analytics. Now, first of all, you try to gather the shrapnels. All right, if it were nails, if it was bolts and nuts, if it were bottles, if it were zinc, whatever is in there, they need to do some serious analytics. That way you can start to see what is the signature, because every bomb maker has a style, just like every tailor has a finishing style, every carpenter has a finishing style. But in Nigeria, nothing. Before you know it, the police are there with their boots, the army are there with their boots and their AK-47, and they will step on top of forensic evidences. Nothing happens. There is no signature. But what worries me more is how many bomb makers do we have in Nigeria? Because we don't have borders, because we don't have an ID system. So a country without national security borders, a country without ID system, how can they claim or prove they are on top of the game? We have what it takes to have ID system. We have the temporary voters card, we have the permanent voters card. These two are biometric. We have the BVN, they are biometric. National passport, biometric. Driver's license, biometric. NHIS card, biometric. The so-called national ID that you go to the post office do, you never get the original. You just get a slip of paper for 2 years, for 3 years, God knows when. We have like 6 biometric databases, but we don't have a national ID card. So the Mohammed or the Adamu in Chad is not the same Adamu in Kano. They are different from different nationalities. But because of lack of those ID systems, we see everybody as Nigerian. So if terrorists coming from Niger Republic or from Chad and enter into Nigeria, same with armed robbers, same with kidnappers, same with racketeers, they can comfortably reside within us in a street.
What would you say is the best option to man the borders? Are we going to apply technology, for instance? Are we going to build a wall like the US wants to build a wall? I'm just really curious, because the northern part of the country, if you're talking about border control, is really wide and expansive. What do we do in this situation?
First of all, in my own opinion, we have to take off sentiment. Sentiment in the sense, there are some border towns and villages that speak the same language. They even intermarry. That is sentiment. The bottom line that they are not Nigerians, we are Nigerians. There should be a demarcation. If you pass through the border between Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland, they are brothers and sisters. They speak the same language. They intermarry. But there is a demarcation, because Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom. The Republic is not part of the United Kingdom. There's a demarcation there. So in Nigeria, we need to say no sentiment. There should be a demarcation. That's number one. Number two, not all the parts of the border geographically, we're talking about the policing element here. You have terrains that are water gateways, you have terrains that are mountains, you have different kinds of terrains. So some parts you may use manual border policing. In some parts you have to apply technology. Trust me, there are very simple, straightforward technology systems that you can use to man borders. There are systems that you can still calibrate, that even if a cow is passing through, you can tell that this is a cow, it's not a human being. It's very simple to manage, and we have the money to manage it. But the bottom line, do we have the willpower or the powers that be want this to be actually an influx of where these herdsmen that come in, perpetuate all kinds of nasty attacks, and they still go out from that? Is it all planned? Is it all human-made?
Let's stretch that policing element a little further to our fight against terrorism. Many times it's the military who will tell you, yeah, we're striking this Sambisa forest here. Yes, they're giving you a briefing about the locations. And we all know that the police in this country, they've got a huge reach. So don't they have a role to play in this scheme of things?
I think to answer this your question, let me give you the most recent example of military getting involved in internal national security. Because when it comes to international national security, the police are the best. The military are good. They can come to support, but not to take charge.
Are you talking about worldwide or here?
Here in Nigeria, the military take charge. They will not listen.
Is it because it's terrorism?
No, I think Nigeria has had a record where the military, especially, let me be more specific, the army, not the Navy, not the Air Force, but the Army has got so much stake in the Nigerian historical leadership. So their yes is their yes. Every other person falls in behind them.
Does the police have the capacity to handle terrorism issues in this country?
The Nigerian police has the capacity if given what? If given the resources and the training and the powers they deserve to do it. Why not? The Nigerian police are fantastic, despite all the negativities about them, despite their poor capability for public relations, because the army are ahead of them in public relations. The Nigerian police has to deal more with their PR. It's very poor right now. Now, look at what happened in the UK. The Prime Minister said that henceforth we're going to have the military man national infrastructures, energy and power plants, stadiums, high consulates, embassies, so we can release more police officers. But these military are going to be under the command of police officers. In Nigeria, how many military officers we go on operation under the command of Nigerian police officers? So the bottom line here is the Nigerian police has got what it takes, but the powers that be, I would say the army are so powerful that they manage everything.
You know, when you talk about public relations, that's a very key component in the scheme of things here. The UK you mentioned, they have a system, you know, policing system that's structured properly and works. But here, as our policing is presently constituted, can we achieve anything close to that? Do we need to rejig anything?
Oh, honestly, all they need to do is to employ people that have got the flair, the passion, the compassion, the skill set to manage public relations. Honestly, it can be done within 1 year. It wouldn't take 1 day or 1 month because a lot of water has passed under the bridge. But look at what the Nigerian army has achieved. When it comes to PR, we always say the gallant soldiers. They've got this positive flair in the minds of Nigeria. One thing we do very well in the British service, like we know how to win the wars of hearts and minds. We get the compassion, the trust of the people. The Nigerian society are not into playing the game of heart and mind. Look at the way they humanize the persons that died at the last bombing in Manchester. They will even give you the human element to their lives, who they are, what they were trying to achieve. In Nigeria, everybody is what? A number. Everybody is a number except you're the son or your daughter of a politician or a politician.
You know, I've got to deal with that image of a policeman jumping in front of my car when I'm rushing to work in the morning, so I can have a positive image, you know, of the police, and I'm sure they do public relations very well. You experience the same thing, don't you?
I think everyone has had that experience here in Lagos.
On the streets, it's something we need to work on. We appreciate your coming on, Vince. Good to see you in Lagos. Vince Onyekon is a security consultant and former British police officer.